Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the eCommerce and Amazon FBA podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about why Amazon sellers need to own their own data. How do Amazon sellers get and store their data? Why should every Amazon seller be doing what they should be doing with their data? And what do advanced sellers need to know about their data? All right, welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the eCommerce and Amazon FBA podcast.
Lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm, lunch with Norm.
Okay, like I said, today we're going to be talking about an important topic. Why Amazon sellers need to own their own data. We talk about it. We hear about it today. We have an expert, first-time guest that's going to be talking to us, and he's got an excellent giveaway. So 15 years ago, our guest jumped into Amazon head first. Then today, he's got a company, one of the top 500 Amazon sellers, and he has shipped over 2 million orders on the platform. He now helps hundreds of brands successfully grow and scale their business using the Amazon sales channel. My guest today, first-time guest, is Adam Weiler. So we'll be getting to Adam in a second, but first a word from our sponsor. A big thank you to our sponsor, Post Purchase Pro, the only complete A to Z done-for-you real email and text marketing service built specifically for Amazon sellers. My friends Sean Hart and Seth Stevens co-founded Post Purchase Pro after launching over 1,000 successful private labeled products, growing 53 brands, and get this, exiting 17 businesses. Post Purchase Pro creates all of your digital assets 100% for you, from marketing inserts, complete sales funnels, email follow-up sequences, and weekly email promotions. They manage and optimize everything for you to drive more sales, get higher ranking, and receive more reviews on Amazon. So check out Post Purchase Pro now to see if you too will see enormous growth like their nearly 500 clients worldwide. That's Post Purchase Pro at postpurchasepro.com/lunch. All right, here is
Hello. Welcome, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to our Canadian friends down up north. It's good to see everyone. Connor and Coolhand99, hope you're having a marvelous Monday as well. And yeah, we can jump right into it.
Okay. Well, one of the things, Kels, I wanted to talk about too, we didn't talk about it last podcast, but there is a Post-Purchase Pro webinar coming up with 49 hacks. And we'll be talking about this a little bit later on in the episode. But if you want to join, Kelsey will be putting the link in. I think it'll be really a great seminar or webinar where you can go and check out 49 hacks free of charge.
Yep, I know there's a couple of people in our Facebook group that were asking about Post Purchase Pro, and this is one of those opportunities where you can hear from them directly, and if you have any questions, I'm sure they'd be happy to help. So we'll be posting that link shortly. Just give me a few minutes just to get that up there. But in the meantime, you can check out our Facebook group. That's Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA and eCommerce Collective. So you have all the updates from the Lunch with Norm crew over here, and it's a great place to talk about what's happening with your business. If you have any questions, comments, if you have advice yourself or just want to share what's going on, it's a great place for to let everyone know. We've got an awesome community over there. I think we're pretty much close to 3,000 members. So check it out if you haven't already. And don't forget to smash those like buttons. Give us a thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's it.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, if you do have questions, throw them in the comments section or comments. And also, it's that time. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy this episode. Welcome, Adam.
Hey, Norm. Thanks for having me, and happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you, sir. Whereabouts are you located?
Normally I am in Seattle, Washington, just a few miles away from downtown Amazon headquarters.
Yeah.
But as you can see behind me, there's sunshine and bright plants. So we are actually down in Costa Rica for the month. Took the family
Oh.
down here, and we are enjoying a nice month down in an Airbnb before the craziness of Q4.
Oh, very good. Man, that sounds like a great idea. Oh, I wish I could
Come on
do
down.
something
Come
like
on
that.
down.
There you go. You might have a whole family knocking on your door by the end of the podcast.
Awesome. You're invited.
Hey, we've got a great topic today because a lot of people, aesthetics is one thing, and putting up a nice account, optimizing a nice account. But part of optimizing is understanding the data flow and working with data. So many people don't really understand. Like in a lot of the courses, they don't teach you the data side, and you don't have that opportunity. Now, Amazon's getting a bit better with that, of course, but I really want to dig into that. And this is a perfect topic. So, by the way, if there's anybody listening, please, just go out there and tag somebody, let them know that we are talking about this today. I think it's going to be a great topic for people to learn. So again, we don't talk about data too much on the podcast, although we should talk about it a lot more.
I'll try not to put anyone to sleep.
We'll make it a non-boring topic.
If you are operating heavy machinery, please pull over to
yeah. Okay, so where do we? Oh, are you back? You just hung.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So where do we even want to start about that? Like just at the basics. What about Amazon data? Why do we have to own it?
Yeah. Why is it important? And then what are the issues with it? So why is data important, right? And for years I was the ostrich with this head in the sand, and I would look at all of the reports that you can download out of the fulfillment page or out of the payments pages in Seller Central, and I would put my blinders on and ignore them. And then I started getting around smarter people than me, ex hedge fund guys or private equity guys, and their dashboards were always way prettier and way nicer. But they also happen to be better sellers or selling more at higher profitability. And I was like, okay, there's something here. Now let's dive in. So, I'm a fan of management. I'm a fan of business, and there's a famous management consultant, W.E. Deming, famous for going over to Japan and helping Toyota get their systems and processes dialed in, right? Back in, I think, the 50s or 60s.
Yeah, they have a holiday for him.
Oh, wow. I did not. That's amazing. That's awesome. And he really is, a quote that's often attributed to him. I'm still trying to track down 100% certainty is what gets measured gets managed. And what that means is, the numbers that we're looking at in our business are how we drive the business or how we grow the business and how we fix things that if they are broken. I don't know if a lot of your listeners use EOS or Traction or any other kind of business operating system, but there's this core philosophy in it of pick a few numbers that are really important, and then let's set up some dashboarding tools to track them, so that if you're on a beach in Costa Rica, you can take a look at your dashboard and know if your business is doing all right.
Right. Don't overcomplicate it either.
Exactly. I've seen a lot of those. But then, and Amazon Seller Central does an okay job, right? Because you can get your sales data, but sales and revenue is often a lagging indicator. Whereas that means if you're doing stuff right in your business, sales often come down the road, right? You nailed sourcing, you nailed your conversion rate. Sales often picks up after that stuff. So what are the leading indicators that we can look for that will tell us where we're headed in the business and we can fix over time?
Okay, and what kind of indicators are they?
Yeah, so we're looking at things like conversion rate over time for an ASIN. We're looking at inventory levels. we're looking at ad spend and sales and conversion, traffic, right? Like, we're looking at keyword rankings, all of these things kind of blend together, and the savvy seller or a really successful seller kind of knows how all these numbers play into kind of intertwine with each other.
Yeah, one of the things, and now it's easier to do than before, but understanding the actual keywords that could convert for you. There could be high volume, still buying keywords. They're not browsing
Mm-hmm.
keywords, but they might have a lot more sales volume, but you're wasting your money on these keywords that just don't convert as well as maybe a lower volume keyword that's just crushing it,
Yeah.
as Manny Coach used to say. But these are little data points that, if you understand, can just make the overall business experience better for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just throw your money away.
And I think totally changing from a running around with like a chicken with its head cut off vibe to a coming in on Monday calm and collected and looking at your numbers and then where am I going to execute. I think that's a huge shift that I've made in my career, right? Just I was an Amazon seller in 2007, 2008, 2010. It was come in, where are the fires, and then like go to the fires, versus having a plan and then making sure our numbers are on the plan. So having data and having those numbers for your business are super important.
Before I got into systems, we had a hyper growth company, and I was going crazy. Like, I was working 25 hours a day. And then, Michael Gerber got me
Mhm.
going. Like, I enrolled in the eMyth Academy, not
Oh,
just
wow.
reading the book. And that changed absolutely 100% my life. Yeah, my life.
That's
I was
awesome.
able to take that, and this is back in 1995, and I was able to apply it to every business that I ever got involved with. And yeah, there were some absolute failures that's going to happen, but
Mhm.
there were some really great, successful companies as well. But one of the things that you just mentioned, by knowing your data, is you get away from running your business day to day in crisis management, putting out crisis after crisis, to being able to sit back and relax. And one of the things that
Mhm.
I do and I preach is every day, every single day, for 10, 20 minutes, sit down, look at your calendar, or my dad used to do this, have your list of things that you had to do. And he would do it manually, and you'd see him, stroking off one, stroking off another. But I do it on my calendar, and I have
Awesome.
a combination of Todoist, which is just a productivity to-do list, and I use Google Calendar, and we also use Teamwork. But planning the next day, or even
Or
like
the
if you
week.
want to talk about the data, Amazon posts. So most people don't know how to measure Amazon posts,
Mhm.
and they think, okay, we talked about conversion rates. Well, what will it do to your conversion rate if you did 5 Amazon posts a day, or 2 Amazon posts a day, or 1 a week? And can you measure your conversion rate? Yes, you can, in a way, not 100%, but just knowing that that data is improving, why wouldn't
Mhm.
you go ahead and do it? And that's what I like about what you're talking about.
Thanks. And so I hope we've made the case for why data is important. I think making that shift reactive to proactive in your business is one of the most important shifts that any entrepreneur can make in their entire career. Like, just your stress levels and your family will like you more, and you will like yourself. So, okay, so we made the point that data is important, but here's the
Yeah.
problems with Amazon data. When you kind of open that door, you get hit with a fire hose. When you crack that door, you literally get sprayed in the face with how much data is available. There's so
Right.
much of it available. It's hard to get, as far as like setting up APIs and servers and all that download stuff. And then once you have it, what do you actually do with it? Where do you look? what reports do I set up? What am I looking at? Because otherwise, you're just adding, if you're a decent sized seller, you're just adding millions of records to a database every day, and you just get overwhelmed very quickly.
Yeah. So the information, what type of information is Amazon now allowing sellers to have?
Yeah, a big shift in what they're releasing now. They've made a shift. Not to get too technical, but they released the SP API, which is the new Amazon API. They're pushing all the reports through, and behind the scenes, they've made an effort to go API first model. And what that means is anything that you see in Seller Central used to not be in the API. It was weird. Like there was more features in manual Seller Central than there was in the API. And now they're doing, if it's in Seller Central, it's going to be in the API. So inventory reports, payments reports. I don't know if you recall, everyone used to have to scrape or manually download their sessions and traffic report just to get conversion rate over time. And like, hey, Amazon, like, could you hook us up with this? Like, and now it's available in the API, all of these things. So what we've done with Ecom 3000 is we made like a tube, a connector to take all of the reports that Amazon has and just get them over to your database or to your Google Drive. And that's like step one, right? And then people started asking like, okay, now what do I do? So that's because I'm getting 1,000 reports a week and I need to know what to do with these because I'm drowning here.
Yeah. And I guess that's just as bad as having no reports, because when you do have, and by the way, if I've got I have a wonky eye today. I think on Friday I said to everybody that I didn't know if I had a spider bite or something. But if you see my eye, don't freak out, guys. You're not watching a horror show. It is just it seems to be just an eye infection that's starting to calm down. So you're not watching The Mummy or something weird. If you're on the podcast itself, don't worry about it. You can't see me. So anyways, like I was saying, Adam, sometimes having no data and having too much data end up with the exact same result, because people get overwhelmed and they don't even know where to start with that. How do you even start to decipher? Oops. You are frozen, I think, sir. Kelsey, is Adam frozen on your end, or is it just my wonky internet?
Yeah, I think he's a little frozen. Let me see. Yeah, Adam.
Guys, can you
hear me? Coming through a little bit. I think you might be coming back now.
Test.
Oh, here we go. So during this time period, Kelsey, why don't you do a little bit of interpretive dance for us?
I won't do that, but I will say that I did post the Post-Purchase Pro 49 Hacks event in the comments. So if you want to check it out, it's happening October 20th. You can use the link below to sign up. And yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know if you're going. And we also posted a couple of the links that Norm mentioned, including the E-Myth, which is also a book. There's the Academy that you can sign up there. And then also Norm's to-do list called Todoist. And
I
link is right
so
here.
highly. I don't know if any of the listeners are, while we're waiting for Adam to come back, do you use any of these like Todoist? I'd be interesting to hear that. And now Adam's back. So here's another question going out to listeners. Are you downloading your data? If so, what are you using? What are the main data points that you're using? I'd be curious to hear what you have to say. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Pura vida. That's what they
So
say.
I don't know where. Yeah. While you were gone, I'm not sure where you cut off. You want to just re-roll that and let's go again.
You were talking with the you were talking about your eyeball getting bit by a spider.
Oh yeah.
So that was
okay.
I don't need to re-roll that one.
Okay.
We're good.
So all I was saying after that is that having too much data and having no data can eventually be exactly the same. You get overwhelmed that you don't do anything, or you're just worried about even how to do it or how to interpret it. So why don't we get into that? Like just taking all of this information, like even that eCommerce 3000 provides you with, where do you start without getting freaked out? Uh-oh. Kelsey, interpretive dance time.
Hopefully he'll be back. Unless you have a nice smile without him.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we're doing right now, just smiling and waving. What do we do in this case?
Well, we'll see if he bounces back. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think he's
Hey,
coming back a little bit.
Why don't we do this? Since we are having Adam's in Costa Rica, why don't you throw some questions in if we do have to end up going to just a Q&A? Throw it into the comment section and we'll take some questions just in case we have some problems. And I think we're going to have some problems today just because of Adam's internet. Oh, yep. Here we go. He's on his cell. Hey, can you hear us?
Let's try this.
Yeah, we can hear you.
There we go.
Okay, let's try this.
Sweet.
We think.
Yeah.
Better?
Got it? Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Let's do it.
So let's try that question again.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. So we were talking about having too much data, rather like being equal as having no data at all. Where do you even start to sift through the information?
Yeah, a great question. So I think you got to start with the lowest hanging fruit, and sales and revenue. That's conversion rate per ASIN, and that's inventory levels. Okay. And because sales and revenue, right? Like that's one you're used to seeing in Seller Central. That you're used to seeing that in your own kind of third-party tool if you've got one of those. And then conversion rate, this is almost like a new one, unless you've been scraping it or manually downloading it or having a virtual assistant download it for you. You haven't been charting this. So this one's an eye opener, as I say. You see your bestseller, you think it's been going well, you're just using revenue to see if it's been doing well. And then you see a chart of conversion rate over time, and you're either slipping in conversion rate, right? And this is the percentage of people that buy when they come to your listing. Or let's tweak the image, or let's tweak a copy, or let's tweak a bullet point and see what that does to conversion rate over time. And this is one that I've seen sellers double, triple, quadruple their conversion rate once you have a good way to test and measure it.
Right. Yeah. You're just optimizing your listing bit by bit, but don't do it all at once, right?
Yes. And, Amazon's got their experiments on the back end, which I think they're like 10 or 12 weeks. That's maybe a little overkill. Like that's too long. Right? Yeah. You can only get a few in a year, but you do want to get some data. So maybe give it 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks to let the algo run its course.
Right. And that was a good point. I was just going to ask you, how long do you go before you get adequate data?
And, that we're building something that's going to give, if you really want to get stat nerdy, it gives like confidence intervals and all that fun stuff. We're gonna build a feature into the tool that's going to track when you make a change, and then over time let you know with a 95% confidence or 99% confidence if that change was effective, or hey, let's roll that back. But for now, just try to get a few hundred sessions, right? That for a low selling SKU, you might know in a couple of days, or for a high traffic SKU, that's a few days. Yep. For a low selling SKU, that might be a month.
Okay. Oh, are you hung again?
No,
No, good.
yeah,
Okay. All
I'm
right.
good.
All right. Very good. Okay. And so the next question would be, what should every Amazon seller be doing with their data?
Mhm. Yeah, so definitely backing it up, saving it is number one, right? If you go to sell your business, just having, well, let me take a second to explain. Amazon only lets you pull 2 years of your data. After that, they delete it, and then 60 days of advertising data. After that, they delete it. So imagine selling your business with only 2 years of history. Like, would it be worth more? And we're seeing a couple of multiple of EBITDA more if you have a 4-year history or 5-year history that you've built out amazing graphs and dashboards that you can show a potential buyer. So that's just keep it, right? Like, storage is cheap. Let's store it. And then let's set up the right views for you, right? Your inventory team, let's get them some inventory views so that they're ordering the right way, that they can see all the stuff in transit, they can see what's stuck in certain warehouses. Let's get your advertising team all the right data as far as sessions and conversion rate. And then let's get your copywriters and your content team that data as well, so they could run experiments on their own.
Yeah, I've seen this a lot where you've got people writing content, but they're not communicating with their PPC team. The
Mm-hmm.
PPC team is running different keywords, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. In fact, we've moved the content team for the agency. We've moved the content team under the marketing team, or side by side, because that keyword research needs to go with your pay-per-click strategy. Otherwise, you're just throwing money away.
Yeah, I like what Michael says here about data is king. The most successful Amazon sellers I know, just you could take a look at the top 10 or 20 that I know, and they all evolve or revolve around data. It's not just putting out a listing and thinking, and doing some great PPC. Every single one of them, if you talk to them, every one of them is on data. That's what they're looking at. That's what they make and how they make their decisions. And it works, but it's boring a lot of the time. Like, you do have people in the game that really love analytics, and they, they'll just love that's their baby. But for the most part, I think most people want to slap something up there. If it looks good, they just want to leave it alone. But it's such an important part. And if you don't have a person that can do this or likes doing it, this is an area where you might want to take a look at hiring somebody that this is what they love doing, to help you out with your team. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah, I think, I'm sure in your history, you've seen when people partner with someone with opposite skill sets, right? If they're the marketer, the other person's data person, or operations and marketing, right? It's like that's when magic happens. And often I would try to fight it, and I would fight against the finance and the data side until I realized, this is really important. There's a reason the people who are embracing this are doing better than me.
Right.
For success.
Now, I do want to just mention to any of the listeners, if you do have any questions about data, how to use it, how to store it, whatever it is, just shoot over the questions there. If you're new to Amazon or if you're an expert, just shoot it into the comments section and we will get to it later on. I already see there's a couple of questions. We also have a great giveaway today. And just a reminder, it's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. Tag 2 people, you'll get 2 entries. And Adam, why don't you tell everybody what we have?
Yeah. So, I'm throwing the kitchen sink. I'm a big believer in just let's give overwhelming value into the universe, and then karma is going to come back. So, I've seen other giveaways that it's like, oh, we extended your trial from 7 days to 8 days. I'm like, well, we're blowing that out of the water. So we're going to have an extended trial. So normal 7 days, we're going to bump that to 30 days. But also we're going to do a free data backfill for up to 2 years on all your Amazon data. That's a few $100 value that we normally do. And then we're also going to have where I'm most excited about is a free BI dashboard build out for any subscriber. So normally this would be another few $100 custom build out. But if you want to see conversion rate over time or some custom graph that you want to see charted with days of inventory or cost of your inventory over time, we will build that out. We'll actually have our team build that out for you, however you want it, in Google Data Studio or Power BI. So I'm really excited about that one.
That's great.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So if you're interested in this, I mean, this is the tool that you need. And Adam has been very generous to give one lucky winner today on Wheel of Kelsey access to this. And you will get, it's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey.
Yeah, and Norm. So, and in addition to that, we're going to give one winner of this. So everyone gets those offerings, but one winner will get a free lifetime subscription. So we're going to give them a lifetime subscription. We're going to give that away to hopefully.
That's even more crazy. All right.
Wow. So Adam, how do people get a hold? Do you want them to? Is there a link I should send them to? Or
if they go to ecom3k.com and just use the chat in the corner of the page and just say and either register first and then chat, or chat and then register. It doesn't matter the order, but as long as they chat in and let us know that you heard us on the podcast, and we'll take care of you.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So that's
Awesome.
That's across the board, and this lifetime membership is just incredible. So I see that we already have a few people coming in and doing the hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. So again, it's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people, you get a second entry. And this is an incredible, really incredible giveaway that Adam put together for y'all.
And I don't want to, so I don't want to say that someone needs to use our software to get the data, right? I want to give other options. If you're a startup and you're strapped and like every dollar is counting, you can go and manually download these reports, right? You can go get all the CSVs, you can download them or have your VA download them, put them in a Google Drive, put them in a database, right? You can manually do that. The reason we built the software is because it's automated, it reduces manual error, and it saves hours a week to do that. So, but it's an option if you wanted to.
You know, one other thing, and I don't usually get into apps too much, but one thing that you have, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm on the right track with this, flat files. Do you still have that app? Are you still working with flat file?
Oh,
Pro?
Yeah. And my vision is to merge the data and the listing manager all together. So, but for right now they're separate. But yeah, our flat files were the biggest headache for our agency for forever. We're managing tens of thousands of ASINs, and our Slack channels would all be about flat file and catalog issues.
So can people access that when they go to your can they review it when they go over to your website as well?
Yeah, flatfile.pro on that, and live chat as well, and just say hey, like I saw you on the podcast, and we'll extend your trial until you're getting a ton of value.
You don't have to do that, but I mean,
all good.
I'm sure the listeners are going to be happy about it. But
it's the ease of Seller Central with the complexity or the level of detail of a flat file.
Yeah, that's perfect. We should have you on just for flat files, because that is man, oh man, we get so many questions about flat files. We've got it down to a science, but I want to check out this tool that you have as well, because if you can make it easier, by all means, I'm going to.
And that one, picture's worth 1,000 words, but a video or demo is worth a million pictures, right? Like I want to show to you when I can demo that seeing an error, clicking on it where it's hot linked to on the page, fixing that and clicking publish, that's eliminating 30 minutes of uploads and refreshes and checking ins. And you can do that in a minute. It's pretty amazing.
Okay, so go ahead. We'll be announcing this a little bit later on as well. Just a reminder. Kelsey, can you do your thing? Hit that button. I want to give a quick shout out to an incredible group of sponsors who help keep our podcast running. The Lunch with Norm podcast wouldn't be possible without the support of the following sponsors: Post Purchase Pro, Clear Ads, Goldstein Patent Law, Hona Worldwide, Netfluence.co, Video Telepathy, Startup Club, and Dragonfish Brand Management. I just want to let our sponsors know you're awesome. Now let's get back to the show. Okay, we are back. Yeah, it looks like we got a bunch of people that have, they know the awesomeness of this. I could just see you're going to love it, guys. All right. So anyways, let's get back and get more into the data. So we talked about the beginner, what are the KPIs and what type of data we should be looking at, how you should be using it. What about the advanced seller? What should they be doing?
Yeah. So advanced seller, a couple of ideas what you can do with data. So I don't know if you guys have covered the acronym TACOs, right? Yep. It's like almost the inverse of ACOS, or it's you're looking at percentage of ad spend on total sales, not just the ad sales, but overall sales, right? And you should have a goal and then be able to cross-reference the advertising data and then the overall sales data. And with that, you need at least two different reports. So getting those reports downloaded, doing some kind of VLOOKUP or running some queries on a database is what you need to track and chart your tacos over time. But super important, because ACOS, I don't want to say it's irrelevant, but I'll take a 200% ACOS if I have a 5 or 6% tacos overall and it's getting the right number. So really important to look at.
And that's really important. So there used to be, and it's changing a bit now, but you'd go and you listen, to some videos, and you'd be hearing this stress that you have to have 20% ACOS to be successful. And I literally, that's why I have no hair. I pulled it out.
Right there with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like you start, especially like both of us have agencies. So you start seeing a lot more things happening, and you're pulling in this information going, hold it a second. This would kill us if we stuck to that rule. And like, and I've had to convince some of my clients that, 40, 50. I had one that was running 79% ACOS, and it's just like, but what? Look at your tacos.
Yeah.
Your tacos is coming down. We went really wide. We're getting some great results. And if we would have listened to all these other, people out there that were saying, no, don't go over 23%, it would not have happened.
Yeah, agreed. How many more kind of like use cases of what we should be doing with the data are you thinking?
Go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
Sweet. I'm excited. I call this one driving off of a cliff, and this happens a lot during inventory constraints. Let's say you can't get inventory in, you're running out of stock. The issue is that we're still spending like we have unlimited inventory. So we're in the car driving, we're going to go up. We know we're going to go out of stock. Well, let's pull back on the advertising and save that advertising dollar. Otherwise, we're just accelerating towards the cliff there. So to get that one, you need your advertising numbers and your inventory numbers kind of mishmashed in a graph so that when you're running out of stock, you could kind of ease off the gas on those ad reports and save some significant money.
Like it, driving off a cliff. There we go. All right, next.
AB or CVR. So this is obviously, you need to be optimizing your listings. How can you do that manually if you're pulling that report, right? And you need to have this graphed and charted for a specific ASIN over time. I think that's just table stakes at this point.
Right. I'm going to let you keep going unless,
yeah, let's keep doing it. I call this one Monday morning quarterback. And this is, you come in and you are, there's Canadian rules football, though we got the longer end zones and everything.
Right.
The Grey Cup. Yeah. So I call this Monday morning quarterback. You come in on Monday. My sales were up 17% or my sales were down 17% week over week. Now, why? Right. And figuring that out is more, it's a combination of art and science. You need a lot of different data points. You're looking at sales, you're looking at traffic, you're looking at ad sales, ad traffic, keyword rankings, inventory levels, buy box percentage, all of these metrics that a savvy Amazon seller knows over time, but you need that data kind of dashboarded in front of you.
Can you customize a report? Let's say that you want to drive external traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So something that you can tie the external traffic in, bring in the 10% referral fee and see if it's worth doing.
Yeah, that is available through the API now, that Amazon attribution and brand referral bonus. So it's
nice.
Yeah, they're starting to just roll all the stuff. Before you would have to scrape it, and now it's all available.
Oh, that's great. Okay, how about one more, and then we'll go on to another question.
Yeah, this is like pro level. Reimbursements, right? This is super important. Anywhere between 1 and 5% of your revenue is Amazon's just holding on to, which I don't know if anyone's done the math. It's got to be billions just sitting there.
Yeah.
There's a ton of services that do it, and they do a great job. But if you want to do it yourself, or you have extra capacity, you get the reports, you can run the macros on them, and then you can submit your own cases to get that money. And you don't have to pay the 20% that those services are charging. You could do it yourself for a fraction of the cost. Yeah,
that part is crazy. I remember back in we were working with a company that ended up with over $100,000 in a refund from Amazon. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't crazy to see others that were 60,000, 20,000. It's just now they've you can only go back so far, but back then they would go all the way back, and it was it was a lot of money. But nowadays, what is the cutoff nowadays? Is it
it's dependent on the report, some 30, some 60, some 6 months.
Yeah.
I think that's around the 6 month, I think, is kind of the limit from what I'm seeing.
So that's going to be a question to the listeners. Have you ever gone back to Amazon for a reimbursement? So let us know. I would like to know yes or no whether you've done it. And if you haven't, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there we go. There was a whole bunch of information there that was just fantastic. I guess before we get into some of the questions, the main takeaways that you think sellers should take from this episode.
You need to use your data to drive your business. Getting that data used to be hard, and it still could be, but it's also there's a few ways to get it now, including our tool. And then once you have it, what are the things you should be looking at? And those are kind of the examples we just went over.
Right. Perfect. Okay. So we have some questions, Kelsey. Can we get to them, please?
Yeah. Let's see. So we have a couple here.
Thank you for the coffee, by the way, Kelsey.
No problem. Okay. So first one from Connor. He mentioned this to me before, but he's running some Amazon issues. He said, my listing was suspended 4 days ago. Since then, my listing is backed up, but ads are still suspended. If I create new campaigns, it seems to work, but the old ones are still not working. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, that's I hate to say just open a case, but a case and an escalation there. It seems like there's probably some bug or tweak that's going on with that campaign. Can you add or take away a few keywords from that campaign or make a change to that campaign right now? Or is it completely off limits from tweaking?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. It just if it just came back on, you might just need a little bit of time. But yeah, you're right. I would probably just escalate it, get it, open up a case, let them know what's
Mhm.
happening, and maybe it could be resolved right away. Now, the other thing, I don't know. This is just you've got to kind of throw it out there sometimes and see what sticks. Have you tried a flat file and
Yeah, good
just
point.
reload everything and just make sure that everything's uploaded, because something might have been corrupted? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so he says it lets me change, but says suspended on the ad.
Did they move the product in a
Oh,
non-eligible category or
that's what
something?
the category. Yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe take a look at your category. And this is another reason why you want to back it up.
Yep.
Because if you have a flat file, if you have your catalog listing report from
Mm-hmm.
a month, then you can see your catalog, if there was anything changed. But that could definitely be it. And plus, if it's a flat file, somebody could have just changed your catalog, or the algorithm could
Scary.
have picked it up.
Scary, yeah.
Yeah, and changes. So, Connor, I think that might be something to take a look at. But just for listeners on the podcast, I know Vanessa Hung was on here, and she was talking about how important it is to get contributors' rights and to make sure that you're constantly updating your flat files on a regular basis, just so it shows that you're the contributor, and use as many fields as possible so it can stop a lot of this black hat crap. But sometimes it's just the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Connor. So hopefully that helps.
All right. So from Cool Hand, he was saying, learning to use data properly is something I need. Do you have any advice on the most useful, user-friendly data I should start with?
I think,
Yeah.
by the
Go
way,
ahead.
I think it was Cool Hand that mentioned, had a comment too, talking about like the training or seeing demos is also so important, because we could talk about it, but not seeing the demo or being able to train is important as well.
Yeah. So what I would recommend is we're going to continue to keep putting out content around the dashboards, and we're going to see, because we're building all of these dashboards, we're going to know the most requested ones, the ones the really big sellers have, the ones the smaller sellers are spending and maybe wasting time on. So sign up for our email list, and we're going to just put out new dashboards every single week. New views, new reports, and kind of like that training system on how to really get dialed in with Amazon data.
Yeah, very good. And what we should do too, this is so important, and we'll try to put something into our newsletter about this as well. Just so, if you are interested in this training, I mean, Adam, if his team is going to show you how to do it and how to work with data, I would probably be looking at it, because like I said, the people who have been the real successful Amazon sellers, um, it's not just by fluke. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good because they understand data,
And
whatever.
Norm, I'm sure you've seen it. They'll start behind, an established seller. Like they'll start behind with like worse listings, worse branding, but then over time they're just optimization monsters because they have the data and they're just letting the data run the business.
Very good. Yep. Kels, we have one more question.
Yeah, we do. I believe this is for you. It says Daniel, but I'm pretty sure he just mixed up the name. But he says, From Cool Hand, I'm located just north of Seattle. Would love to connect when you return home. I'll treat you to a cup of coffee or lunch or something if you're willing.
Awesome. Yeah, I try to get to a bunch of meetups and stuff, and anything in the area. So that'd be awesome. There we go. We're making connections.
See, and hopefully, Adam, when you meet up, you can have a lunch with Norm mug.
Oh, that will be awesome.
All right, everybody. So if that's the end of the questions, make sure if you are interested in the giveaway today, which is awesome, hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. And then if you're interested to enter a second time, tag 2 people and we'll get you in a second entry. I think that's it. Adam, contact information.
Yeah, so adam.weiler@implicit.co, or I'm on Twitter. I follow your stuff, Norm. That's awesome. And then, yeah, reach out to me on Twitter if I can help in any way, or email. And my kind of go-to talk on this is, come with a generic question. I will answer 100%, or come with a specific question. I will answer 100% of any specific question anyone sends. If you're like, hey, teach me to Amazon, like, you're going to get ignored or blocked. If you come with that specific question, like any people we're bringing today, happy to answer. I want to pay that forward. That's like my why in life. So
that's fantastic. Okay. So Kelsey, one more sponsor and then we'll get to the wheel.
All right, here we go. And let me remember which ones we had to do.
I know which one. Come on.
Okay, let's see if I got it right.
This episode is brought to you by ClearAds. Looking to maximize your Amazon ads ROI? Well, whether you need full service or just 1 or 2 services, ClearAds Amazon advertising experts drive outstanding results across the Amazon marketplace. With over 9 years of experience, their Amazon PPC managers have helped thousands of companies to drive down their cost of sales and scale up their revenue, profits, and orders. And with their unrivaled Amazon DSP expertise, ClearAds DSP services are tailored to your brand. You really can't go wrong. Get in touch today with ClearAds' dedicated team by visiting the link in the description or visiting clearads.co.uk. And remember, more sales, better ROI, incredible growth. Check out ClearAds today. Okay, now it's time. Adam, you've never seen this.
Mm-mm.
Be prepared.
Right. Get ready. Here is the Wheel of Kelsey.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right. Thank you, everyone who entered today. We should mention that Adam, if you missed it, Adam is giving away a free extended trial to everyone with BI, free custom build out, and much, much more. You just have to go to ecom3k.com and mention the podcast. So make sure you pick that up. And also the flat profile?
Flat
File Pro. Mention Lunch with Norm and you could get some free goodies there as well. So check those out. But I'll give this a spin.
But this is the biggie.
Yeah, this is the free lifetime.
What is it this month? We've had some great prizes.
Some incredible giveaways. Looks like
Amy.
Amy is the winner.
All right,
Congrats,
Amy. Congrats.
So Amy, you know what to do. Email me k@lunchwithnorm.com to connect with me, and I'll connect you with Adam.
Awesome.
And we do this every single podcast, so make sure you come back for the next episode and try your luck again.
Perfect.
Congrats.
All right, Adam. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast today. I don't know if Kelsey mentioned, but just hold back. You're going to be off screen and I'll come back to you in a sec. But okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Based on the engagement we had today, it looked like everybody enjoyed the topic. So that's fantastic. If you want to hear more about data, or if you want to learn more about flat files and get Adam back here, let's do that. And we'll check out, I'm going to check out flatfile.pro as well. But anyways, if you want to hear more about flat files and how to use flat files, just let us know, and we'll get that episode going as well. But I hope everybody is in, I'm thinking Canada here. I'm hoping everybody in Canada is enjoying their Thanksgiving holiday. And we are going to be back to you on Wednesday with, who's our guest on Wednesday, Kels?
Scott Needham from Smart Scout.
Yeah, that'll be very good. So can't wait to talk to Scott as well. He took this on very short notice, by the way, but it's going to be very informative. Kels, what do you got to wind this up?
Okay, we're going to wind this back down and just give you guys I'll post the Post-Purchase Pro link again if you guys want to sign up for the 49 hacks. That is happening October 20th. Here is the link. It's going across all the outlets right now, so check it out. Also, make sure you give us a thumbs up and let us know if you enjoyed today's episode. And if you have any other topics, questions, or guest suggestions, you can always email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com, for more information. We're also still taking requests for the Trash My Product, which is when we take your product, we critique it, we look at the whole user, the customer journey, and give you a rating on what we think you could improve on, or if it's a 5 out of 5 beard rating. So if you want more information about that, email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com, and put the subject title trash, and we'll give you more information on that. And don't forget to join the Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and eCommerce Collective. That's our main group. That's where we put all the information. That's where you can ask your questions for Norm and I, or to the community. We've got an incredible group over there, and it's always great seeing what everyone's up to. So check it out. Links are in the description as well. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for more podcast episodes, and that's it.
Okay, fantastic. So join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, not Central. And like Kelsey said, thanks for being part of the community. We could not do this without you. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Lunch with Norm.